let's knock out Block 12 for Operation Chimera. Now, I've sped this video up because, quite frankly, it was a pretty boring game. It lasted pretty close to 10 minutes, and was not really exciting. In fact, I just squeaked out the requirements, which are 4K damage and being top damage in the battle. So you have to be top damage on your team as well as anybody that's on the enemy team. This makes it a little more difficult because you really have no idea of what the enemy team is doing in terms of damage. They could have one player that's getting all the damage. They could be spreading across the entire team. So there's a big unknown when you're doing this, but you can power through it. Now, I've decided to do this at tier 10. I think tier 9 and tier 10 are the right tiers to do this. Tier 10 in particular. Because right now at tier 10, the chance of you getting a 3-5-7 match, which is 3 tier 10, 5 tier 9, 7 tier 8, is pretty high. Which means you get a lot of soft targets in front of you to get that damage. I also had the luck of being on a wide open map, which is great for the Grill 15, which is the tank I've decided to do it in, because 4K damage for a Grill really isn't that challenging. Although in this replay, I just eked out the 4K damage, and I was probably only 20 damage higher, maybe a little less than the top player on the enemy team. But regardless, I got this one done. I think the key to this is being mobile across the map, just being able to adjust, which is another reason that a wide open map is ideal. You saw that I started on the hill, sniping over to where the heavies would pop out. Nobody showed up, so I decided to go support the railroad. Got some damage in on the railroad, and now we finally spotted guys in the field south of the city. I want to be able to adjust to that, so I'm moving around. So having a mobile tank, I think, is great for this. But you can do this in whatever tank you feel is right to get 4K damage, because that is the bare minimum that you need to do to get this done. The good news is that if you're in a 3-5-7 match and you do 4K damage, the likelihood that you are top damage on your team is pretty high. So feel confident that if you hit the 4K mark, you're likely going to be top on your team. What the enemy team is doing, you really have no idea. It's really not something that you can control. If you have the option to shoot at their tier 10 tanks, that's probably the best scenario, because they're the ones that are likely going to be doing 4K damage on their side, or something higher than 4K damage. So if you want to take out the competition, so to speak, to make sure that you are getting top damage, think about where those tier 10s are going to end up. Now, this map is, it looked like we had lost this, quite honestly, and I wasn't expecting to complete the mission. But the enemy ended up being a little passive on the railroad side. The tortoise here is pushing up and acting as my personal scout on the west side of this map. So I'm just going to snipe down here, take out some of these tanks. Got the Arty, got the Udis. Really can't take out that defender yet. I guess I could easily push up and get my 4K damage on the defender. But the secondary for this is survive. And if I can survive and get the secondary, which I think is a garage slot for this mission. So if you need garage slots, do the secondary and survive. So the point is, I didn't want to push up too aggressively if I didn't have a one-shot, because I was worried about that Scorpion. Didn't know where the Scorpion was. He was clearly a one-shot, so it's very easy. And then I can just push on this defender and kill him. So that's 6 kills. That was the 4K damage. Match is over. We finally won this. So sort of an interesting match, but that is Block 12 with honors for Operation Chimera. And you can see here I just beat that standard B on the enemy team for top damage. So this is something you can't control, but luckily I was able to get it done. So in summary, I would say, run this at tier 9 or tier 10. Tier 10 is probably best because it's more likely that you're going to get that 357 format. At tier 9, you're likely to either be the middle tier in a 357 tier 10 game, or you're going to be top tier in a 510 format with tier 8s. So not the best scenario, but it's certainly doable at tier 9. Pick a mobile tank. In my opinion, mobility is best. You can get this done in really any tank, but being able to adjust to the battlefield, finding the damage wherever you can, I think is important for this one. So if you have a mobile tank to do this in, like the Grill, for example, it's probably easiest, or a medium tank if you've got a medium tank. And the other thing is, don't trade HP early. You need that HP late game. So just be a little conservative in the early game. Get the damage where you can. Snipe a little bit. Let the battle unfold in front of you before you really commit to any path. Don't worry about things like kills. Just worry about the damage. That's all that really matters. Your XP doesn't matter for this. So just focus on that damage and save your HP for later when you're rushing into the battlefield to get that last bit of damage as your team is really taking control of the match. So this should be a pretty easy one if you can get the 4K damage, and you'll knock this out in just a few tries. Good luck, guys.